Hi everyone, it's Lance here, best day ever MTB, and we're just on my own, no film crew today, just me and my camera, out doing a little bit of exploring. One thing I like, we're at Riverhead Forest here in Auckland, is that you can, especially on the e-bike, you can just ride around. There are so many unmarked trails out here, you can just explore and see if you can find something new. Now, come down, this is Campbell Road, I'll put on the map where that is, and I don't normally ride over here, but I noticed this road goes off to the side here. And according to Trail Forks, it doesn't go anywhere. So the question is, do we believe them? There are so many trails out here. I'm just going to go down that road, see if there's anything there and see what we can find. So anyway, come join me on a little bit of exploring. Alrighty, now knowing my luck, this will be a fizzer and this won't go anywhere. But as I say, we'll just keep exploring until we find something cool for you. Okay, not looking great so far. Oh, really not great so far. Okay, maybe this is going to be the crappiest video ever. You weren't expecting that though, were you? Never seen that before. Alright, well, didn't expect to find a little watering hole here. If you do stop at somewhere like this, do remember, of course, there could be crocodiles in here, and so, you know, you don't want to get too close to the water's edge. Snakes, spiders, all those sort of things. Oh, hold on a minute. We're in New Zealand. That's Australia I'm thinking of. And you guys call yourself the lucky country. Anyway, let's carry on riding. Alright, well, the track definitely seems to be going somewhere. It's uphill. So it's not on Trail Forks and doesn't have a name on the end of the track, so not sure if I'm riding in the right direction, but to say all the tracks in this forest are both directions anyway, which means you always of course have to keep an eye on whether someone could come the other way, of course. Someone will probably put in the comments what the name of this. They usually all have names, but as I say, I've never ridden this before. Of course, this motorcyclist put in loads of trails, so this may be one of the motorcycle trails. You know, it's not really used by the mountain bikers, so I imagine some people must. It's pretty good to ride, actually. It's a nice gradient. It's been well used. Alright, looks like we're coming to the end of something. Alright. Alright, might be time to get the Trail Forks out, I think. Alright, let's just quickly refer to Trail Forks. We're up here somewhere. It says we're still not on a track while we're on this kind of road thing. But there's a black run down here called Workbench. Not familiar with that, so anyway, let's go and have a look at that. Whoa! Whoa! I'm assuming this is not the track, because this is not a black by any stretch. Maybe maybe it's going to a track now. Okay, so this is Workbench. This track has actually been here for quite some time. I looked at some videos on Trail Forks, and they showed that there was no trees when people were riding this track. Now, it's down as a black, 640 metres long, 54 metres of descending, but if you know Riverhead, trails like Baconator, Burning Ears, Rehab are all down as blue, and this trail is actually a lot easier to ride than those ones. The only thing that really makes this a black is coming up down this hill, there is a gap jump, and that is definitely a black in terms of the jump. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, need to have a look at this.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Okay guys, so what are we thinking? I measured it out, 18 of my feet. If you watch my videos, you know that it's within my capabilities. I'm pretty confident, 95% confident I can hit this jump without a problem. It's the other 5% that's a concern. Now I can already see some of you typing, Lance, you're sitting on the landing of a jump on a downhill track. Are you insane? You're going to get hit by another rider.
And that's the point that you really don't understand, is that the odds of another rider coming down this track is exceptionally remote. And that's my problem. If I have a crash on this track here today and I hurt myself and I can't get myself out, I'm going to be lucky if anybody ever finds my body. So I'm going to do the sensible thing. I'll wait until I've got some other people around me, and at least if I have an accident, someone can go and get a stretcher. Anyway, so let's do the right thing and we'll roll on past this thing.
I must admit, I always carry my cell phone when I'm out here in the forest on my own, but reception is very patchy, and of course you could be in a state not to be able to use your phone. So it always does worry me a little bit about, you know, riding here on your own, and I always like to take it a bit easy, but that's not to say that things can't happen. Alrighty, we may have a new problem. Now, usually in mountain biking, there's always the beeline, the roll around, the easy line. So what do we think of this? We've got this bridge thing. You think, oh, we'll just walk across it, Lance. And I'm not too worried about that. But that thing looks seriously rotten in the middle. The question is, can it take my 65 kilos, or slightly more than that, plus an e-bike, across this thing? What are we thinking? It's worth a shot. Guess we don't have much choice. Could be going for a swim if we're not careful. Okay, I'm just going to point out that I'm not recommending that any of you guys actually do this. I did get a cross here, no problem at all, but I guess one day that thing is going to break, and it could break while you're going across it. So if you do it, yeah, you do it at your own risk and be real careful. And of course, I had to actually come back and get the camera, didn't I? Where are we going, do you think? This way, I think. Oh, it's super obvious. And we've done a loop and we're back out on Campbell Road. Alright, so we've buzzed across the forest a bit. Wanted to show you a newish track called a Trek. This one is on Trail Forks. Hopefully with a bit of luck you'll be looking up there and there'll be a map with an arrow or something. But anyway, if not, it's on Trail Forks. And yes, I have checked, even though I am on a Specialized Levo, I still can ride the trail called Trek. So anyway, I'll show you what it's all about. Alright, kind of windy and techy this one, but nice and dry today. Saying that I did manage to go over the bars here last week on this thing. You must be sick of me telling you how often I crash. Now Trek is down on Trail Forks, is 333 metres long, so pretty short track, and just 55 metres of descending. It's also down as a blue track, which again sort of comes back to the whole inconsistency of trail grading. The black workbench we did, apart from the big double gap jump, is actually a lot less technical to ride than this thing. I really enjoy these sort of tracks. They're relatively simple to make. They don't have any big jumps or fast flowy berms, but it's all about holding off those off-camber turns and avoiding clipping your bars on the old tight trees. But yeah, I really enjoy this sort of stuff. And that's the bottom. Oh, hi guys, just having a wee drinks break. Now you may be wondering, why am I riding alone and not riding with the rest of Dad's army? Well, it's a bit embarrassing to say, but if you just keep it between us, I'll tell you. Now, Red Bull, they've been giving me some cans, and on one of my recent videos, I gave a couple of the guys a dozen cans each for helping me with the video. Now the rest of the guys, they all want a dozen cans every video they appear in, sort of an appearance fee. And then it sort of got more from that. It was kind of like, well, they wanted extra ones if they were doing jumps, bonuses for crashes, and Zach wanted a clause said that we couldn't show him without his shirt on. Then they wanted the Red Bull girls to turn up in the Mini. So a bit embarrassing, but I went to Red Bull with all this, said, what about the Red Bull girls? Something about dirty old men, didn't really understand that, but anyway, it was basically a yeah, nah. So yeah, lawyers are involved, getting very complicated, but yeah, the Dad's Army at the moment are not riding with me because of contractual issues. Anyway,
It's one of those things. While I'm actually saying that, while we're talking about the video, there are some things that people don't realise, and that is that I have a slightly quirky sense of humour, and not everything in my video is 100% factual. For example, I do realise that 6.5 metres is not 50 feet. Rachel Atherton doesn't actually send me comments in the videos saying that she thinks I look young. I'm not sponsored by a mobility scooter company, and Westy water is just water from my tank at home. So yeah, not everything is truthful. In fact, the guys, it's not true about them wanting 12 cans per video. It's only 6. Anyway, let's carry on riding. You ever been down to the bottom of a track and thought, what I really need is an elevator to get back up? Well, that's exactly what this track is called. It's called Elevator, and it just winds you back straight back up again.
Nice climb back up the hill, this one. Elevator, 576 metres long and 65 metres of climbing, so you actually end up coming up to the hill above the level of trek. But this is a good bike, whether you're on an e-bike or a normal bike, just a nice gentle gradient to get you back to the top.
And hey presto, we're back at the top again.
Now the same thing seems to happen on a lot of these videos I make. When I'm actually filming, I underestimate how much footage I've actually got, and then when I come to try and edit it, there always seems to be way too much to fit into a normal size video. And this one is no different. So trying to shorten it up a bit, but basically what we're doing now is we're going up a track called Bull. This is just a nice gentle gradient that takes you back up to the top. And then when I did get to the top, I actually noticed on the other side of the road there was a sign I hadn't noticed before called Hogan's Heroes, and thought I would give that a blast down there. This one, according to Trail Forks, is 435 metres long and 54 metres of descending, and it's down again as another blue trail. In fact, the vast majority of the tracks down in Riverhead Forest are down as blues. Saying that, in the middle of winter when it's wet, I would suggest that some of them do become blacks. Now this track, again, not difficult to ride, but you can actually get a surprising amount of speed down this track, which was quite good fun. It's one of the things I do like about this forest, and especially on the e-bike, is sometimes just getting out there, exploring the tracks and just seeing where they go. And as I say, the good thing about the e-bike is if you do get to the bottom of a hill like this, it's not a big deal to just climb your way out.
Now, one of the things I like about actually doing these rides on my own is that you can just go exploring. You can lose loads of altitude, and because you're on the e-bike, you can just say, oh well, I'll just climb back out, just see where the track takes me. If I took the guys around on this run, they would have had a mutiny by now. They just got fed up with not knowing where they were going and having to climb hills. They're all about avoiding the climb, whereas on the e-bike you just don't care. I'm pretty glad I did choose the e-bike. It's more of a climb than I anticipated. Anyone know where we are? I might have to get Trail Forks out again. Sketchy, that's what we're looking for, Sketchy, that's it. Although we might as well go to the start. We'll show you the start, eh? Oh, just taking a wee rest. I know I'm on an e-bike and you guys got very little sympathy for me, but I still get pretty tired when I come out on these rides. We're going to do one run down one last track called Sketchy, so you're welcome to join me on that one. If you haven't subscribed already, I'd love it if you did that. All we're trying to achieve is to get to 1 million subscribers. We'll get to 1 million subscribers. All of Dad's Army are going to retire, will become professional mountain bike YouTubers. How hard can that be? So if you haven't subscribed yet, do that, and obviously click the old like button. We like that too. Anyway, we're going down Sketchies now, and if after that, we'll see you on the next one.
Alrighty, into Sketchies. Quite like this track, down on Trail Forks, 853 metres long. In this direction, 60 metres of descending and 3 metres of climbing. Although you can ride this track equally as well in the opposite direction, it's just a sort of more of a gradual climbing track. 1 million subscribers. Yep, I know. You think I'm delusional. The reality is I'm not delusional. The reality is I'm just pulling your leg a little bit. I realise that that's not really possible. It would be nice, however, to get more subscribers and to grow the channel a little bit more if we can. And the reason for that is already, although the channel is pretty small, I have had opportunities to demo bikes. I've even been contacted recently, if you saw the KTM video, and asked if I'd like to take the thing out for a few days. Now that would never happen if I didn't have the channel. So if you haven't joined the team already, I really love it if you did that. It'd be great to see where we could go with this.